I never thought I'd be jealous of a party, but that's exactly what it came down to. A party and my life. It happened 2 years ago, on a cold January night. I wasn't feeling well. Dizzy, weak, short of breath. The doctor had warned me about my heart, but I didn't want to worry my children. So I sat in my living room, wrapped in a shawl my late husband used to tease me about, trying to convince myself it was just fatigue. Then I saw the pictures. My daughter-in-law, Sophie, had posted them online. Streamers, candles, smiling faces. My children, all there, celebrating her birthday. They'd promised to visit me that evening. They even said, "We'll bring cake, Mama." But they never came. At first, I laughed. I told myself, they must have forgotten. But as the hours passed, the laughter turned into something else. Something that hurt more than my chest ever could. By 10 p.m., I could barely breathe. I reached for my phone, and with shaking hands, I called my son, Ethan. He didn't answer. Neither did my daughter. So I tried Sophie. She picked up, music blaring behind her. "Sophie, can you tell Ethan to come home? I don't feel right." Her voice was cheerful, impatient. "Oh, Mom, we're just cutting the cake. Can it wait till tomorrow?" Before I could reply, the line went dead.
That's when I realized something. It wasn't just that they forgot me. They had chosen not to come. I sat there, alone, listening to the tick of the clock, and for the first time in my life, I whispered to myself, "You've given everything, and they can't give you an hour?" So I made a decision, one that shocked even me. When the sun rose the next morning, I packed a small bag, locked the front door of the house I'd lived in for 40 years, and walked away. I took a bus to a small coastal town 2 hours away. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. For the first time in decades, no one called me Mom. At first, it felt like running away. But then, it started to feel like breathing. I rented a tiny cottage near the sea, with peeling paint and salt in the air. The landlady, Mrs. Whitmore, was kind. She brought me soup on my first night and said, "You've got the eyes of a woman who's finally had enough." She was right. Weeks turned into months. I started painting again, gardening, reading, living quietly, without waiting for the phone to ring. Then one afternoon, I got a letter. No return address, but I knew the handwriting instantly. Ethan's. It said, "Mom, I came to your house and you were gone. We called the hospitals, the police, everyone. Sophie told us what happened that night. I hate myself for not listening. Please come home. I'll never forgive myself if you don't." I read it 3 times, and then I cried. Not out of sadness, but because for once, they finally saw me. I didn't rush back, but a few weeks later, I invited them to visit me by the sea. They came, carrying flowers and guilt. Ethan hugged me like a child again. My daughter couldn't stop apologizing. And Sophie, she just stood there, tears in her eyes, whispering, "You deserved better than what we gave." I smiled and said, "Sometimes you have to lose someone's presence to understand their worth." We spent that weekend talking, laughing, and for the first time in years, I felt loved, not out of duty, but choice. Now I still live by the sea. My children visit often, not because they have to, but because they want to. And every time I watch them walk up the path, I think about that night when I was left alone and somehow found myself again. Because sometimes leaving isn't the end, it's the beginning of being seen.